Boxing truth here. The Mikey Garcia fanboys already on that hype train, already demanding a Vasyl Lomachenko fight, even going to saying that Lomachenko shouldn't fight anybody else but Mikey Garcia. This is what I'm seeing on boxing Twitter. All these cats already riding the Mikey Garcia train. Now, Mikey Garcia, that was a scintillating performance. It was very impressive. Dejan brought the best out of you. You do well against aggressive southpaws because of your natural counterpunching style. You had the physical advantages. I was hoping Dejan can get you past 4, but he wasn't unable to. And as a result, you got in that great performance. And now everybody's calling for a Lomachenko fight. But boxing fans, please calm the fuck down. Chill out a little bit. For one, they're not in the same division. 2, it's an imaginary fight right now. It's not a makeable fight right now, simply because Bob Arum ain't interested right now in giving Mikey Garcia a Lomachenko or a Terrence Crawford payday. I mean, even though they settled their issues, they settled out of court, there's still some bad blood there. I mean, I know Arum for sure wouldn't mind having one of his fighters do to Mikey Garcia of what Mikey Garcia did to Dejan Slaktichinin. But at the same time, it has to be worth it for Bob Arum. And if he's going to risk one of his top-ranked stars, it's got to be for the most money possible. And right now, those fights, especially a Lomachenko-Mikey Garcia fight, an HBO license fee or a Showtime license fee is not going to be enough incentive for Bob Arum to just put Lomachenko in there with Mikey Garcia. Now, Mikey Garcia, he does well against southpaws, aggressive styles. Dejan really brought the best out of him, and he was able to have that great performance. But even though Loma will be the smaller man, Mikey has the power to really trouble anybody at around his weight class. He's got very good power in that right hand, very good counterpuncher, but like every fighter, he has a weakness. And Dejan actually attributed it to his strengths. But a Lomachenko and a Terrence Crawford, they will bring out the weakness in Mikey Garcia. Now, a Mikey Garcia against a Lomachenko, a Terrence Crawford, those fights are very tricky for Mikey Garcia. He's definitely in those fights. Those are winnable fights for him because of the size advantage he has over Loma. However, the style doesn't really suit Mikey. Those guys are fleet-footed boxers, movers. They will provide a different strategy than what Dejan brought to the table. Mikey won't have the physical advantages like he had against Dejan. Crawford's taller, longer. Lomachenko's around the same height. He's also much faster with his feet, much faster with his hands, and he has a better defense than Dejan. So those fights are tricky because Mikey, as good as he is with his technique, his jab, his right hand, he has a lot of trouble creating offense in his game. He's a guy that you need to cooperate. His opponents need to cooperate with him. You have to attack him so the best can be brought out of him. But when he has to chase you around, when he has to walk you down, when he has to create offense on his own, that's where the Achilles heel kicks in for Mikey Garcia. Those are the type of styles that we're really going to figure out if Mikey could adjust. He does well against the guys coming at him. He does well against aggressive southpaws. But can he do that against more fleet-footed boxers? A Lomachenko that will provide angles, the speed. Can he deal with that type of style? And that remains to be seen. I mean, he hasn't really been fighting any fleet-footed, athletic guys. Not that I can recall in his career. Nah, he hasn't. Most of the guys he fought were aggressive fighters, come-forward guys. Top Rank really matched him well, and this was another fight against Dejan. It was impossible to predict Mikey just blasting Dejan out like that. Considering the inactivity, how he looked in his past few fights, and everybody talking. Some people talking shit on my page like you got that the easiest pick, the fight pick wrong. That wasn't an easy prediction. That fight was tricky because of all the intangibles involved. Mikey's inactivity, his attitude towards boxing before the fight, how he looked in his recent fights. That wasn't an easy prediction. The easiest pick of the night on the Showtime card was Leo Santa Cruz versus Carl Frampton. If you got that pick wrong, it's because you was actually fooled into thinking Frampton won the first fight. It was a very easy prediction. That was the easiest prediction on the Showtime telecast, the Santa Cruz Frampton bout. Because all you had to do was look at the first fight for what it was, and you would have known that Santa Cruz would even did better in the rematch. All he needed was fair judging, and he still didn't get that, but still got the decision that he deserved. But for now, Mikey Garcia Lomachenko right now is an imaginary fight. There's some issues. Mikey's a free agent. He's not tied down to nobody at the current moment, but that's going to most likely change. They gave him the opportunity to fight on Showtime. They've given him 2 opportunities to fight on Showtime without any further commitment with any other promoter. But now that he's coming off this great win over Slactationing, this great performance, he's a champion again. Now they're gonna be the offers are gonna be coming in, most likely from Richard Schaefer. Al Heyman's gonna try to sign him. Mayweather's gonna try to probably pitch in a bid for the Mikey Garcia services. So now, if Mikey's gonna get another fight like this, most likely he will have to commit to a contract, either a fight-by-fight basis, a short promotional deal. I expect Mikey to get some offers for his next opportunity on whatever network he fights. So even though he's a free agent, that's mostly going to change anytime soon. And right now, Bob Arum, Top Rank, they're not interested in that Mikey Garcia fight right now. It's not enough incentive. If they're going to make that fight, they will build it up to a bigger attraction. Mikey Garcia's following is just getting bigger. Lomachenko's following is just getting bigger. Right now, it just doesn't make sense. And even if the fight was to happen, it won't be Lomachenko's first fight at lightweight. He most likely will pick up a strap and then see if they can unify the titles when the fight is big enough against Mikey Garcia. Now, in the meantime, there are other opponents out there for both guys. So, chill out. There's plenty of opponents for Mikey to fight in the lightweight division. He can unify with the winner of Linares versus Crolla, which most likely will be George Linares. And that's a beautiful fight. That's a great fight for Mikey. That's a fight I like to see. That's a fight that will give me more answers about Mikey and whether he can deal with outside boxers with speed. And as for Lomachenko, there are opponents at 130 that he could fight. Other champions. He could fight... The Corrales fight looks like it's not going smoothly. Most likely has to do with money. So he could fight either a Jason Sosa. He could fight a Fortuna. He could fight the guy that just won the WC title that beat Francisco Vargas, Miguel Burchek. There's still other opponents out there. And once Loma moves up to 135, Mikey Garcia is definitely not going to be that first fight. And as for Mikey, there are fights for him in the lightweight division. Robert Easter is out there after he gets through his voluntary phase as a champion. George Linares is out there. And if he can keep winning, building up his profile, Lomachenko continue to look as good as he does, this possibly could be a pay-per-view attraction for the promoters to really take that risk and put these guys together. But right now, it's an imaginary fight. Bob Arum ain't interested in giving Mikey a Lomachenko payday. Especially it's not enough right now, as an HBO Showtime license fee is not gonna be enough for Bob Arum to take that risk. But those fights are the most difficult fights out there for Mikey. Lomachenko, Crawford, and the Linares fight would be interesting. I think the most interesting fight for Mikey in the lightweight division, if he can get past, Anthony Crow in the rematch, which most likely that will be the case. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Who was the best fight for Mikey in the lightweight division? And do you think Lomachenko could beat Mikey Garcia at 135? This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.